Live breaking news from Sportskeeda Wrestling, a serious health update about WWE living legend, chief executive of the company, and one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Triple H, undergoing a very serious medical procedure. We'll update you on this and much, much more, and the latest headlines in the world of professional wrestling. It is Sportskeeda Wrestling top story right now. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! What's up, everybody? Normally, I'm like, watch out. You know, all excited, but today, a little bit of a stressful situation here for a lot of fans of Triple H. Jose G with me now. I'm Kev Kellum. Jose, what is the latest on Triple H right now? WWE confirming he underwent a very serious medical procedure recently.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that, Kevin. Triple H underwent heart surgery after a cardiac event. Don't know exactly what date that happened, but WWE did issue the following statement regarding his health, saying that Paul Levesque underwent a successful procedure last week at Yale New Haven Hospital following a cardiac event. The episode was caused by a genetic heart issue, and Paul is expected to make a full recovery. So we don't know how this happened. It says here it's a genetic issue, but what I can tell you from my previous experience dealing with people with, with heart procedures and heart surgeries, my father himself, he went through a triple bypass earlier this year and he made a full recovery and he's, better than ever. Sometimes these things happen and the wonders of medicine these days, bro, it's crazy. So I'm fairly optimistic. I'm pretty optimistic. Triple H will be back sooner rather than better. But I just hope that he just makes a full recovery. That's the latest that we have. We've had people make some comments about that Triple H had passed away. That is completely negative. That is not true. Triple H is alive and well. Otherwise, WWE would have not put out this statement on his health. He does appear to be at home resting. Again, he did have heart surgery for a genetic cardiac event that happened, and the surgery was about a week ago up in Yale New Haven Hospital.
We have other people joining us who themselves have dealt with heart issues. Nancy texting and saying, no, all about having a heart procedure. I had it done in January of 2008. It's a pretty serious procedure. I know you mentioning your family going through it. My brother had open heart surgery when he was a teenager. So it's pretty, your life changes. Let me just put it that way. Your life changes in a lot of different ways. It is good to know that Triple H is in good condition, that this is something that was dealt with. Now, saying cardiac event, that leaves a lot of people to jump to a lot of conclusions. And was this a serious situation? And was he, near death? And we don't know. And I think a lot of that will be revealed in good time if that is something that Triple H and his family want to reveal. I think that's the main case here. We're gonna have Jeremy JB Huskers from Nebraska, if he asks you here, join me here in a minute here. A lot of people responding with prayers and well wishes and good vibrations in the general of direction of Triple H and the WWE executive office there. Allison say my best wrestler, Triple H get well soon. Yeah, so a lot of that's another thing. Is Triple H is one of those guys that a lot of people love. He's one of those endearing characters to generations. So there's gonna be a lot of people who respond to the story in a big way. And respond to it in a very emotional way, I'll say for that. This is noteworthy of the time of this. Is this something that happened to a guy in his 50s? And this is something that happened to a guy who only wrestles now and then. But certainly works his tail off for the WWE as a critical part of their global expansion of NXT. Yes, he's still involved with NXT. Anybody who said he was demoted, that is not the case. That is never, ever happened. Now, how long will he be out of the picture? It isn't clear, but he will be out of the picture for WWE for a considerable amount of time. I don't think it's speculation. That's just kind of obvious.
Well, here's the thing too, depending on the type of procedure he had, because he could have had something laparoscopically done, or they could have done like they did with my dad, where they did a huge incision, crack open that chest plate and get in there. So it just depends on what type of heart surgery he had. Some of these heart surgeries can take up to 90 days, up to a year in full recovery if it's a bypass type of situation. Again, I don't know what type of surgery he had. Details will probably come out as we learn about this developing story. And sometimes when it comes to the type of surgery, it's because of HIPAA, that can be an issue too.
Yes.
But let's get another take on this. Let's bring in Jeremy Bennett, another colleague of ours here on the top story. Jeremy, how you doing today, broski?
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Jeremy, we're being very serious. We're using the word colleague. So that's serious.
It's like a professional. It's a professional environment over here, isn't it?
Jeremy, you're keeping an eye on. I know you've definitely seen the social media feed on this. What is the fan reaction to this right now? This kind of very, very, very stunning news today from WWE.
A lot of shock, a lot of get well wishes, a lot of shock because guy's in great shape, and to hear something like this, thankfully it sounds like everything is good. It sounds like it was possibly genetic, and maybe that's something where if you know that ahead of time, that you maybe need to do some preventative stuff to get that checked out. Obviously, Triple H is such a busy guy that might be dude. I mean,
I don't think he's the guy that has an off switch.
No, it's just like Vince. It's just like Vince. They go work out at midnight for a reason, because it's always go go go. So maybe it's just something that was never at the forefront. But if it's let's just speak to our people watching. If you have a history of this, get yourself checked out ahead of time and regularly, so things like this don't happen,
especially if you have a family history too. We're finding out that this is a genetic issue. And also going back to my dad, we never knew he had this heart condition to know I got to be extra careful to check, make sure that my heart doesn't stop ticking. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's something to just be taken serious. We are expecting him to make a full recovery. We wish him very well, and just get well soon. Get all the rest that you can. This is the time. You know what? It's funny. Let's make a little bit of humor out of this. He's well. He's getting better, right? But this is just all a little bit coincidental, don't you think?
My podcast co-host said the NXT kind of thing might be pushed him over the edge a little
right?
bit.
The whole NXT situation. I mean,
how about the whole WWE situation?
Right? Like
how about
the entire situation.
It's not a conducive schedule for a bad heart. As much as they, I mean, these guys work out at midnight or 1 a.m. for a reason, because that's the only time they can do it. And then they get up at 5 a.m. and do it all over again. It's insane. There is no other outside world. It's crazy. So, thankfully, what happened was fairly minor. And at least everything sounds like it's going to be good going forward, at least in terms of a full recovery. At least now it's in his mind. He's going to get regular checkups now for this, and things done that need to be done.
Here's the thing too, that usually after some type of heart surgery, a lot of the times they are a lot better than before, so whatever situation, Paul had, hopefully this is going to make him a lot better. That's what these heart surgeries do now.
I mean, we have more than people. Obviously, you guys are live with us, and we're very responsive to the conversation. A lot of you guys are being very respectful, and I appreciate that, because you guys could go down a different road with this thing, and I appreciate that. But it prompts the question: is this the end of him being an in-ring performer?
Yeah, because there were rumors of him going to be doing one more run. I don't know. I mean, Jerry the King Lawler had worse happen, and he still wrestles. So
I mean, the guy had a heart attack on live TV.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out, but I also wouldn't hold my breath on it, because he literally was probably only going to do one more run. It might have been AJ Styles. Who knows? I don't know. Damian Priest. We saw the rumors about Damian Priest joking about a match. But literally, Triple H was literally going to do one more run probably and call it quits. And he said himself, it takes a good 3 months to be completely prepared for that too. So I would not hold my breath on it, but I would also not rule it out, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, because again, like he said, it takes 3 months to get prepared. I highly doubt he's going to do any kind of Mania push this year at all because of this.
Well, no matter what, whenever he appears on television in any form again, the reaction's going to be astronomical. The good thing is that he's in a better place. I really for the years now, his role has not been to be an in-ring performer. His role is to be an executive and a producer and drive the ship here.
Yeah.
Pretty big story here. We're going to have someone join us here on Boots on the Ground in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Nasty Natty hosting All Elite Wrestling Dynamite tonight. This will be one of the more formidable episodes of AEW Dynamite. We'll talk to him about that. Ucchino, I know you're wearing your disgusting Cincinnati Bengals t-shirt right there. That is so awful. Why would you do that to yourself?
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I got to represent.
Bear down. Bear down.
Before we jump into AEW, I know you're on your way over to check out that big show tonight that's going to air on TNT. We'll have the debrief with Jose live tonight as well, covering all of that. Keep an eye on the channel. Make sure those notifications are on. Rick, what is the feeling here that you've been seeing in reaction to this big Triple H news? Because I know I'm going to see you're going to hear people talking about that tonight at Dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's very unfortunate. I actually found out about it on the drive over. I have been stuck in traffic for the better part of 45 minutes trying to find a parking garage here on the campus, the beautiful campus of the University of Cincinnati. So I haven't really had a chance to talk to anybody yet. I'm still making my way over to the arena right now. But yeah, terrible news, obviously, and we all wish the best for Triple H and hope everything's all right. And it sounds like he's going to make a full recovery.
How many awful jokes are you going to hear tonight about this, you think?
Probably more than I want to hear.
Like from fans or on air?
Who knows?
I both.
I don't think they would go.
I think that's a cheap
I don't
shot.
know about that.
Do that.
I really don't know.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either, but the timing of it is just like, all right, well, let's ruthless aggression. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to be sitting near anybody. I think I'm going to be all by myself, all by my lonesome in the media section.
I
think I'm going to be
not being able to film.
I'm gonna be up in the rafters, just chilling with Sting and Darby Allin.
Hey, there's worse things. There's worse things than you could be doing.
What's that? Hey, Sting, you guys want popcorn or something?
You guys want to live tweet with me? You guys
okay. You guys are just gonna stare anonymously at the ring and not talk to each other? All right, okay, cool.
Oh, this is actually what you do off camera too. Oh, okay.
Totally love your vibe, by the way. Your bromance is uncanny.
Rick, you're heading to AEW. Huge week for them. The talk in the wrestling world is that they're now the real competitor. They're now fully in that WCW position. They have fully taken form as the number 2 real competitor. Other people would argue they're not exactly there just yet. What do you think the sentiment is right now as you head into this big show, which is going to have CM Punk on it, which is going to have Minoru Suzuki versus Jon Moxley on it? Ooh. What's the take on the street there in the Natty heading into this big show tonight?
I'll tell you what, you want to talk about this being a big night for AEW, and it is. What this also is a huge night for the city of Cincinnati. And I say that as a lifetime resident of the city of Cincinnati and a lifetime wrestling fan. We don't get those big pay-per-views like you do in Chicago or like in Orlando or Jeremy does in maybe not Nebraska.
I don't get I gotta go to Kansas City or St. Louis, basically.
Yeah. The last time that WWE came to Cincinnati for a pay-per-view was Cyber Sunday 2006.
Oh,
TNA
wow.
was here in 2011. That's it. And this is as close as we are going to get to a pay-per-view, maybe until Jon Moxley talks AEW into coming here for a pay-per-view. Maybe we get the Full Gear announcement tonight. I would lose my mind for that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go. But, I mean, yeah, this is a huge show. I mean, we're getting Jon Moxley versus Suzuki for crying out loud.
That's good.
You're talking about CM Punk that's going to be here. Daniel Bryan is going to be here. Adam Cole, baby, is going to be here. Ruby Soho is going to be here.
It's going to be a good show tonight.
This is a huge show for not only AEW, but for the city of Cincinnati. And if this crowd is hot tonight, which I think they will be, especially for their hometown hero, we love our people from Cincinnati. You know that, Kevin. If they're as hot as I think they will be tonight, we can expect more big, at least AEW shows in the Queen City from here on out.
Yeah, I think if it's an electric show, I mean, this is going to be a pay-per-view like show. So if the crowd comes with it, and there's been very few AEW crowds that don't come with it. So if they come with it, I think that's going to be a message sent to Tony Khan saying, hey, this is a good place to bring it. Because, this doesn't happen much in WWE. So they got the energy that can provide for a pay-per-view like atmosphere.
Excuse me, sneezing on air.
Rick, real quick, what's the seating capacity over there at the campus? How many people are you probably expecting tonight?
About 10,000.
About 10,000 people. It's a solid house. I mean, it's worth noting AEW did run 4 events in Chicago in the past month. They ran 3 the week of All Out. Only the All Out pay-per-view sold out for them. So maybe doing the whole residency model isn't going to be the concept to take, because those other shows were about half full. So we'll see what happens here. You mentioned AEW Full Gear, their next big pay-per-view segment there, Rick. There's been some changes on that. Do we have any other updates on that? Is that do we have a clear idea? Because we know that the date has been pushed back a week. Reportedly, it was going to be in St. Louis at the Chavez Arena in Missouri, but that may have been changed.
Yeah, now that they changed the dates, it's probably because Tony would not commit to St. Louis. So I bet there's a city change, but we haven't had an announcement on that yet, have we?
Rick, you got something there, bud?
No, I don't have anything officially on that, but just going back real quick to the ticket thing you're talking about, it's about 10,000 seating capacity, and I checked on AEW's website today. They had 64 available as of 10 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
That's not counting resale or people trying to, hawk them on StubHub or anything like that. So I'm expecting a packed house here tonight. And if the traffic is any indication of getting over here, I'm expecting a packed house tonight.
Yeah.
Certainly going to be interesting for sure. Rick, keep an eye on all of our socials. I know you'll be spreading things out on our Instagram, on our Twitter, all that good stuff. Of course, give him a follow at Rick Ucchino.
We're getting a good tour of the neighborhood of Cincinnati here.
It's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Get myself a 2 flat over in
only on Sportskeeda Wrestling, guys. Only on Sportskeeda Wrestling. You'll never get content like this anywhere else.
Sportskeeda Wrestling, brought to you by State Line Chili. The flattest.
Skyline.
Kevin got it wrong.
You just got corrected.
Kevin got it. Kevin probably got it wrong on purpose too.
Yeah,
thing you could have said worse is if you said Gold Star. All right, and that's a Cincinnati joke. So
I don't know. It just looks like you guys think dog food is a delicacy. So God bless you. You know what I mean?
Oh.
You know what? You guys think casserole is pizza. So
I saw that coming.
All right, guys. Let's keep it civil in here, guys. All right, Rick. So we'll talk to you tonight after AEW Dynamite. We'll have you hop on the show for a few, kind of give us your take. Be careful. Have fun tonight, bro, and enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually got to find my way to the arena. I think I'm lost, so I'm gonna get off
you
here.
look lost. I was gonna say that was my next concern.
Get the Google Maps out.
Going.
Down here in 12 years, Clifton. I haven't been down here in 12 years. So, I need to find my way to the arena.
All right. If you are out on the streets in Cincinnati, help Rick if you see him holding his phone.
Donate to this number right now if you want to help Rick. All right, guys.
Have you seen our Rick Ucchino?
Oh man!
Talk about being lost in the mid card.
Hey, cheap pop. I like that cheap pop.
So we do have some other AEW news to cover today. Some very interesting news. The annual PW 500 comes out around this time of year, and it is always hotly debated amongst wrestling fans.
Big time.
The top 500 male wrestlers. They also have a separate list now for female performers. But the top 500 wrestlers, and who is the top wrestler in the world? And the top wrestler in the world, according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and their precious 500 countdown. You can see it right there, the cover, an amazing cover there as well. Always worth going and picking up in the newsstand.
Yep.
Kenny Omega takes the top spot this year atop the 500, beating out several other big names for that precious number one. I've seen many wrestlers kind of pose with that plaque. I remember one time, for some reason, Dean Malenko got to be like number one out of nowhere, like in the middle of the Monday Night Wars, and he wasn't like the most popular wrestler. He was still, a great wrestler, but he wasn't like a top star. But Stone Cold Steve Austin has gotten this. Many big names have gotten that. So at least Seth Rollins got it once. John Cena's got it numerous times. But now Kenny Omega now in that league, another sign of how big AEW truly is now.
Yeah. And Moxley got it last year. Omega, we basically got a reinvention of a heel character. He was the cleaner in New Japan. It was a heel character, but he kind of really reinvented himself this year and has had a very very substantial. I mean, obviously, officially the longest title run in AEW history now, and so definitely a well-deserved number one. Even though I wonder if they promised it to Danhausen again this year, and he didn't get it. If you remember that joke from last year, they promised him the number one spot, and he didn't quite get it. But
I bet he's on the list. You could be.
I bet he will, because last year I think he was 177. I think he was 177 last year. I bet he's jumped up considerably from 177. And Jose, did you just say you just made the list?
Yes. Let us know what you guys think of Kenny Omega being announced as number one for the PWI 500.
Here's what's most interesting about this, though. What about Roman Reigns coming in at number 2? He's had the title for a lot longer. He's had more title defenses than Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you think that is a true and unbiased assessment?
Well, here is the official rundown of how it's calculated. The evaluation period is July 1st of 2020 to June 30th of 2021. They look at win-loss record, technical ability, influence on the sport, success against highest grade of competition, success against the most diverse competition, in activity. Omega's probably wrestled a lot more matches than Reigns. Because he
only wrestles pay-per-views now.
Reigns don't wrestle during the week, during the regular shows much anymore. So, I don't know if that was the tiebreaker. Because I think if you look at everything else, it's a pretty even board in terms of win-loss, technical ability, influence. Because both guys have had a huge influence on the sport. They're both the top guys in their company. So I bet I bet the tiebreaker came down to activity.
Probably right.
Tiebreaker also comes down to who's going to sell magazines, guys.
Magazines. Who buys magazines nowadays?
What people?
I just pre-ordered them. I just pre-ordered.
They probably subscribe. Well, you can probably do you actually get the physical copy or do you get the digital download?
No, I get the physical.
That always go and buy this every year.
I bought it last year because Mox is my favorite wrestler. And now I'm kind of thinking I liked it. I kind of liked reading it and reading all the, I'm into the indies and all that. So I kind of like seeing where some of those indie guys are at. And I know you could probably find it somewhere else on the internet, but I think it's kind of a regular buy for me now once a year.
Mr. James Espanto Fernando Tagay, who's always one of our biggest supporters, says, I don't disagree with PWI with Omega and Reigns being number 1 and number 2. Who else cracks this top 10?
Should I read?
Do we spoil it?
Give us that top 10.
I only have 10. I can't spoil the whole 500.
That's okay. If you want to go get this, it is well worth it. It's always worth it. It's like the annual almanac of wrestling. It's a really great ranking. Great for trivia.
It's
fun for a long car ride. If you want a good read on a long car ride, you're taking any trips in the next few months, the PWA 500 always a trusty go-to.
Plus, if you want to expand your horizons, you get to learn about all these other guys that, say Dan, you don't know who Danhausen is because you just watch the main shows. Danhausen obviously is taking over the world. Let's just, be honest with you. But you don't know who Danhausen is, so you kind of read up on him, and then you maybe go to YouTube and find his channel, which is very entertaining, very evil. You learn about some of these guys that in the indies that you may not know about that you're going to probably hear about in a couple of years. But let's go to the top 10. Number 10, Rich Swan, of course, Impact champion over that good part of that period. Number 9, Shingo Takagi. Takagi. There we go. I can't speak today.
Takagi?
Your New Japan champion. Number 8. I kind of surprised at this one, but I guess his NXT run might have influenced this heavily. But number 8, Finn Balor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess he did have a pretty good run at NXT then, but he kind of has disappeared since he's came back onto
It's also
main.
the whole year that you judge, by the way. It's
Yeah.
not just the last few months. It's the whole year.
Number 7, Will Ospreay.
Makes sense. He was on
6,
the shelf for a good majority of the year, but he had some big matches at the beginning.
Yeah, and I guess this period ends too, in June 30th of this year is when they end the period. So number 6, last year's number 1 in Jon Moxley. Number 5, Kota Ibushi. Number 4, Drew McIntyre. Number 3, Bobby Lashley. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Number 1, Kenny Omega. So WWE's got 2, 3, and 4, which says something about kind of the power of their top guys. While the top guy is going to be an AEW guy, but WWE is pretty top heavy there.
Yeah, they are. They are in the top 5 position. So, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm okay with the decision of the top 500, at least the top number 1 and 2. I guess that's fine. I guess it does come down to activity, right? Because Roman Reigns doesn't wrestle on a weekly basis now. He wrestled last Friday, but that's
it's technical. But he's also like, they don't consider promos a part of this, which is like, all right, I think that should be a part of it. That's just my
and like with Tagagi, being the world champion, but New Japan has not been as active as the other companies.
No.
But
and it's worth noting, PWI, this is no shot at them. They're very fond of Japan. They're very fond of high match quality, and they have a very good Venn diagram of the crowd that really likes the Wrestling Observer 5-star ranking. Like that crowd really intersects on these type of things.
Yeah,
and are very it's like the Academy. Like when you this is Oscar bait. Like there's right. There are matches that are going to be 5-star bait. There are matches that are going to be PWI bait in this regard here. Certainly a very quite the accolade here for Kenny Omega to score here at this stage of his career. And
completely agree.
Many people saying, he's been open about it. Yeah, I can have these banger matches, but I'm beat up. I got some real problems. I got a bad rotator cuff that he's been nursing and not getting a surgery on. There's been talk that he has a knee issue, but he's still obviously having these huge matches. It's worth noting you're not seeing him wrestle nearly as often as he did a few months ago. You're seeing him out there cutting promos and doing a handful of things, but he's not in the ring, throwing up bangers left and right. He did wrestle at pay-per-view. He did get physical at Dynamite, but it's, they're really, months apart. They're putting in the ring.
Yeah. It's also kind of cool to see, see them recognize 2 African Americans in this top 500, because they've been, there's been some great African American champions this year with Bobby Lashley, Rich Swan at Impact, and so it's kind of cool to see that they're being kind of respected in that top 10 as well.
They're great.
Yeah, they are.
Rich was the Drew McIntyre of Impact this year in that regard. I mean, where he was like, let's go to a guy who's been good for a long time, is going to give us a great match. The fans can get behind. He's always going to get a reaction. Rich made a surprise appearance for AAW, the promotion I work for in Chicago, on Thursday. Huge reaction.
Yeah.
It's like a massive reaction for him.
That story with Eric Young and the comeback story, and to get to that world title, that was some good stuff that Impact had.
Yeah, and one of the stronger, no crowd matches that we had to go through and endure. It's very hard to perform in that regard, and they had a fantastic match, a fantastic pay-per-view match. So good on him. Bobby Lashley, big come up this year, huge come up for Bobby Lashley. This is the best Bobby Lashley we've ever seen, despite all the things that people say about Monday Night Raw and the booking, all these things. Bobby Lashley, and also him and Drew McIntyre had a fantastic match. Maybe one of the better opening matches on a WrestleMania. And it's weird when you're the champion, the world champion, to be like, all right, you have to open the show, but things are different. It's a 2-night WrestleMania. There's different challenges and different pacing you should do. And they rolled with the punches, a weather delay, all those different things, and still had a great match. One of the better WrestleMania matches. So good on those guys. Strong list. I don't disagree with it. Don't disagree with it at all.
Not at all. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the list holds, especially some of those up and coming indie guys, just to see where they land. Kind of see where some of the other guys that have kind of had some strong years, see who's just outside of that top 10. It'll be real interesting to see how the rest of that shapes out.
For those watching on demand, we are coming to you live before Dynamite tonight. TJ Santiago saying, I see Don Callis, Kenny Omega's over-the-top flamboyant manager and supporter of the elite. Do you see Don Callis with the PWI 500 on television? Do you think they're all going to You think all the members of the elite
They
are all going to
probably
have
will.
a copy of it? And they're all going to.
They're going to talk about it. They're going to talk about it.
They're all going to just have the magazine and do like that to the camera.
Okay, we got all these. You got all these stars coming in tonight. Who opens the show?
I think this is smart. We got Daniel Bryan opening the show.
I think Super Elite, but
that's what we're calling them, Super Elite.
Super Elite, Super Click.
They leveled up.
You know, they have
Mecca Elite.
Yeah, with Adam Cole, baby. I don't know. You got so many ways to go with the open.
It's certainly a critical episode for them.
Yeah,
because of that saying,
Yeah,
and the expectations couldn't be higher, following this pay-per-view on Sunday. So,
yeah.
Good on them. And also, I think, as I've been saying for the past couple days, the real response from WWE comes this Friday at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
We have gotten no news on that. I mean, obviously, we have the concerning news today with Triple H. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next in that regard, and what happens backstage, and who kind of picks up the reins there. You do have a strong team at WWE, a lot of really talented people, and everyone thinks he's just backstage at NXT. No, he's involved with Raw, he's involved with SmackDown, he's involved with all of it. The scale of the events, the major pay-per-view events, so it'll be interesting to see what the next move is here. And also, we get to see Suzuki versus Moxley tonight in AEW. So, next couple days in wrestling, will be very interesting.
On top of, you still got Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg there. You got, you're going to have Bruce Pritchard there from time to time as well. So Triple H is going to get some help with NXT as they go into the new era next week.
Did anybody see already the meme that's going around the internet with NXT and the Terminator 2 Judgment Day end scene?
No.
Oh, explain.
So Terminator Arnold's going into the lava, into the magma, right?
And
it's NXT on his face, it is just going down, and then you see Sarah O'Connor and John Connor on the top looking down, all sad. Triple H and the fans. It's great. Check it out. It's on viral already. Yep. And then this NXT disappears. I'm like, come on, guys.
I think people overreacted to this whole thing and ran with it. And what is the coolest thing in wrestling? It isn't AEW. It isn't even WWE.
It's
the coolest thing in wrestling is to close your eyes and just yell WWE sucks in every different direction.
I thought this was a plug for AAW for a minute, but
it isn't. But also, there's a lot of people thinking, well, if I shit on WWE, then that makes AEW better. Like that's the dumb trick that we all play on ourselves with social media all the time too. So definitely
enjoy wrestling.
Yes.
Period.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. Enjoy it, man. Just enjoy all the big stars that are back here in general. This is going to be a very interesting time in the next couple of weeks here.
I mean,
how WWE responds, what AEW does moving forward. The winners are us. The winners are always going to be us when stuff like this happens.
We got a hell of a week here. We got Dynamite tonight. We got the Madison Square Garden show on Friday. Then we got the new NXT on Tuesday. So we got a hell of a week ahead of us here.
Which I will be at. I will be at a brand new NXT. I got an invite from WWE. I'm waiting on my confirmation. Ooh. My wife is working on some T-shirts as we speak right now and some artwork because we're going to be all dressed up for the Index wedding.
Oh, gotta be.
Are you gonna be like the one person?
I'm gonna be that one guy that's gonna be sweating bullets in 97 degrees with a 3-piece suit, just looking my best for Index on Tuesday night.
It would be really cool if a lot of fans showed up. Like, like if they said, like, yeah, you can come to this closed set wrestling show, but it's formal attire.
Black tie only. I wonder if the capacity expands. It almost has. You think it almost has to?
According to some of the teasers that I've seen, it looks like they've actually done more of a bleacher type of setup, kind of like what they did at Full Sail. And instead of kind of like a big rectangle, it looks like it's going to be like one big dome. It's gonna be like a mini dome. I don't know exactly as far as the colors, how it's all going to look.
Well, it's going to be bright. Apparently, it's going to be very bright.
But again, like I said,
you're going to be
times on the show,
inside of an open-minded screen, basically.
You're going to be sitting in a black light, basically, and paint splatters. And I wonder if, I wonder if
glow sticks.
I wonder if it's going to be, I think Full Sail, didn't they have about 500 capacity?
No, they had more.
Oh, did they have more? Okay.
Yeah, there was a few thousand actually, maybe just under 2.
Oh,
there is some running speculation about this new look for the Capitol Wrestling Center, which is where NXT has been. It's a built-out studio space at the WWE Performance Center. They're no longer at Full Sail University. That this is a backup plan in case things get really bad with coronavirus again. We haven't seen shutdowns, though cases are up, though Delta variant is present, vaccines are available, and
3 more variants.
Yeah,
there's 3. I just don't even want to talk about it anymore, Kevin.
I know,
I'm just going to get completely upset. I'm going to get depressed, and I don't want to do that.
I know, it's there. But there's been some talk that this isn't just a move for NXT. Is this a move for WWE? As you see AEW setting up an arrangement with Universal Studios in Florida as well to film episodes of Dark and Dark Elevation, kind of close set television. Is this something that could be in the future? Is this a backup plan? And WWE understands now after last year, they got to have a backup plan.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
We'll see what happens here in the future. Definitely will have some fun, exciting stuff to follow on all of our different channels. You guys can check us out, sportskeeda.com as well. Download the app if you haven't done it. The Sportskeeda app, the #1 personalized sports app in all of India. Can really help you out, especially if you're following everything going on with football, everything going on. I don't want to Google everywhere about one app. One app. Get everything in one app. All your wrestling news, everything up. Right there in just a couple clicks. Go get it. If you haven't done already, go ahead and subscribe to the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. A lot of content, fresh episode of Legion of Raw with Vince Russo is coming up. And on Fridays, we always have Dutch Mantel covering SmackDown and Rampage. So it'll be quite the episode to cover this week. If you haven't done already, go ahead and share the link and check us out on our podcast as well. You can't watch the videos. You can turn on the audio. We're available on Spotify and Apple. Thank you to everyone who put us on the charts in the United States. All right, we're neck and neck with WWE's The Bump. We're competing with WWE Podcast.
We're competing with The Bump?
We're competing with The Bump right now.
Are you being serious right now? We're competing with The Bump. I'm going to have to call, when I was in Vegas.
5 spots. We were within 5 spots.
That's pretty good. When I was in Vegas talking to, I spoke to Evan T. Mack over there. He's one of the co-hosts of The Bump. I'm going to have to call him out on Instagram and be like, bruh, our podcast is competing with yours.
We're coming for you.
We're coming for that.
We're coming. We're coming for that spot.
We can taste it. You can follow him on the Twitter machine at Jose_G_Gonzalez. You can follow him at JB Huskers and follow me right over there. No, is it this one?
Other way. Yeah, opposite. There you go.
Whatever.
Opposite.
You can follow me at Kev Kellum. You can follow me at Kev Kellum and all the stuff I'm doing as well. So much going on. I can confirm I'll be at the Milwaukee Comedy Festival coming up in October. So for 2 shows there. So Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can check me out on that. All righty, let's get to it, boys. Got to watch some wrestling and go to work.
go to work. Time to go. It's time to go to work,
boys. When watching wrestling, with all the stressful world news, and new graphics that aggravate people because they get tied to graphics on a television show. How dare they get colorful? I can't allow that. With the real serious news that we saw today with Triple H, we need to do just this one thing when watching wrestling. Young Jeremy, sweet.
It is enjoy wrestling.
Yeah.